There is nothing more challenging or inspiring than being a parent. It is difficult. I believe it's more challenging today to be a parent than at any time in history because there are more voices in your home than at any time in history. At no time in history have parents had to deal with an onslaught of voices that are 24/7 in the home. It's a challenge. And we gotta rise to meet this challenge. So how to raise great kids? I think most parents focus on 4 things. These are not on your notes, but write these down. This is free. I think there's 4 ways that we look at kids, and we need to change this. Number 1, we look at kids as beautiful. Oh, little Susie, she's so pretty. Oh, isn't that the prettiest baby you've ever seen? Everybody says that about every baby. If you don't say that, there's something wrong with you. Even if the kid's ugly, you say, that's a really pretty baby. So we categorize kids. Oh, they're beautiful. And a lot of kids aspire to be beautiful. Oh, I want my daughter to be a princess. I want them to win this talent show. I want them to win this competition. And so we push kids in this category. And so we think to be great, they have to be beautiful. Next, I used to call these kids nerds. Now we call them boss. But brains, right? These are the smart kids. These are the kids, right? Oh, my student's an outstanding student at blah, 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 blah. I never got to have that bumper sticker. But you did. But, Johnny's so smart. Little Timmy's so smart, so intelligent, excelling in school. So we talk about kids' beauty. We talk about their brains. Then some of us who are athletic inclined, we talk about their brawn. Oh, my son hit, 4 home runs. I never hit a home run. Shut up. It hurts. But we brag about our kids, right? Oh, my kid, he won this award, that athletic award. So basically, right, it's beauty, brains, brawn, and then the last one's not a B. My apologies, couldn't come up with one. It's just talent. Your kid's just good at something. And it could be anything. In a play, they can sing a song, they're good at artwork. And so we pressure our kids, and this is what's wrong, is we're pressuring our kids to be great at something. Here's the secret to raising great kids. Don't raise them to be great, write it down, raise them to be good. So let me just ask you, if little Susie is beautiful, does that mean she's going to heaven? Show me the Bible verse that says pretty people get in. The Bible is pretty clear. Jesus was not fun to look at. That's what Isaiah says. He was not a handsome man. Why was that? Because God wanted us to listen to Jesus' word, not look at his face. Next, brains. We focus on brains. You got to be smart. You got to get an education. You got to go to Harvard. You got to go to Yale. We put all these pressure on these kids, and everything about them comes from their ability to be smart enough, that shows they're good enough. Here's the thing. Can you be really smart and evil? Yes. Have you not been to the movies? Just because your kid's smart doesn't mean that they're not going to be evil. You could be raising Superman's future enemy. Teach your kid to be good. How about this one? Well, my kid can hit a home run. My kid can hit a ball. In all my adult life, nobody's ever said in an interview, hey, kick this soccer ball. And that's why a lot of kids don't know what to do when they no longer play games. They don't know how to live life because you raise your kid to be an athlete, not to be a good person. It always breaks my heart when people say their kids learn morals from sports. Have you been to a child sporting event? I think the only lesson kids learn is why adults are incarcerated at sporting events. Right? They should have mandatory therapists at events to counsel parents at sporting events. It's insane. It's insane. One of my favorite YouTube videos is when the coach loses it and goes out and smacks his own kid's play as he's shooting the ball. It's like, oh, you're on YouTube now. 2 million watchers. Or talent. You got to be talented. You got to be popular. People got to like you. Do you know why there's so many bad adults in the world? Because we don't raise good kids. Bad kids turn out to be, guess what? Wait for it. Bad adults. And many of the behaviors that you're seeing in adults are behaviors that weren't dealt with when they're kids. So if you want to raise good kids, I want to give you one proverb, Proverb 22:6. It's not in your notes. You got to write it down. Proverbs 22:6. Direct your children onto the right path, and when they were older, they won't leave it. Listen, you have valuable time with kids. Speak to them, teach them. The major reason adults don't live right is they weren't taught right. And we got to start teaching kids right. Proverbs 10:1 says this, a wise child brings joy to a father, and a foolish child brings grief to a mother. Man, I tell parents all the time, being a parent is like going to the Golden Gate Bridge with your kids, and you don't know if they're going to hug you for a selfie or push you off. If you're not laughing, you're not a parent. Because you don't know what's going to happen. Is this going to be a great moment, or am I dying? Because you don't know what they're going to do. So here's the best way to know what they're going to do. Start teaching them to be good. Man, that's great, your kid's athletic. It's great, your kid's smart. That's great, your kid's beautiful or handsome, or your kid's super talented. Here's what God wants: good kids.